Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Joey Evans.
And today we're taking a look at the newest game from Office Dog, Crafting the Cosmos.
Ooh.
Now, Office Dog is, in the past, they've taken like some IPs and turned them into board games. I don't know what IP this is other than, hey, it's a Stars, the IP of the universe. Ooh. But the art is by Quill Silver, and the art is going to be a big part of this game. In fact, the components are going to be a big part of this game because they're like deluxe components in an ordinary setting, in a sense, right? Like, this is not a deluxe version. This is the version.
And the components are so nice.
Let's take a look. Each player is going to start with some nebulas. You start with a size 1, a size 2, and a size 3, as well as a hydrogen star. This is a dual-layer board, and that fits in very nicely. These have these spots where you can kind of move the nebulas around. You are trying to surround each nebula with the stars it shows. So this one shows 3 hydrogen and 1 helium. Well, this one has 2 hydrogen, 2 helium, a carbon, and an oxygen star. The inside of the box is used for the gameplay here, and in the middle are these marbles. And as I'm showing a setup for a 4-player game, we have 1 marble of each color and 3 of the dark marbles. On your turn, you must move your marble 1 space. You can move it more than that. You can move marbles up to 3 spaces, but you can only move your color or the dark matter. So I might want to go 1, 2, and then move this one 3. That might be something that I'm going to do. After that happens, wherever your color is, you will do the active thing. This one gives you 3 hydrogen stars, a carbon star and a nebula, 2 helium stars and a supernova, which is a wild star, and an oxygen star, and I can turn 2 proto-life into life. That's what you get where your marble is. You then get the passive benefits of every spot of all 4, depending on the number of marbles there. So this is going to let me draw 2 cards from over here, these energy cards. This is going to give me 2 proto-life. This is going to let me move 3 things on my board. And this will let me move Time Crystal. As you place things on your board, when you place stars, as I mentioned earlier, what you're trying to do is you're trying to surround a star with what you need. This is going to give me 3 points, but I also have to get rid of one of the stars that was around it. And then I will flip it over. The other thing that you can do is as you get life on the board, you'll start with proto-life, and life has to be placed initially next to your life up here, but you have ways to move. Whenever you get movement points, you move this tracker up, and this tracker lets you turn proto-life into stable life, and this lets you turn one of your stars into a supernova. But once you surround one of your finished planets, one of your finished solar systems here, once I finish it, surround it with life, I'm then going to get to put a life token on it from a pile, and these life tokens are going to be worth extra points at the end of the game. And then all your proto-life goes away. Stable life stays out. So having a stable life will let you use it multiple times. Other things that you can do on your board, this time marker, you'll move it up. Once it gets here and you move it, you're going to get a star of your choice, and you'll get the points at the end. So 3 points. And then I'll get another time marker. And time markers are one of the ways, when you run out of time markers, that's one of the triggers to the end of the game. Now, I mentioned these cards over here, which, by the way, are only one of the 4 different colors, but they have some really beautiful artwork on them. Why are you collecting them? That's because over here you can discard a certain number of cards of the same color to be able to put one of these tokens on the board and to get a power card, or you can always discard 5 of the same color to simply get 6 points. When you discard, let's say I discard some red cards, I'm going to be able to take the number I discarded of these cards and pick one of these cards. That card then is going to go in the slot. So let's say I did 3 red cards. It would go into this slot here. This gives me a bonus, a benefit that says when I do this, I get to do this and get some bonuses, and I'm going to put that here. So anytime I want, I can discard 2 of the time cards, the green ones, to put a star in this section with the triangle on it. Or this nuclear fission one, anytime I can discard 1 green card to discard 1 star to gain 1 star. But that's not the only thing. Whenever you do this, you're going to take the little token that was next to it and place it in that section, whatever color you built. And then that passive effect gets better for you every time. There's also a few other things in the game. Each round of the game after players have gone, these cards are going to come out. And when a card gets to the bottom here, it's going to go off. And whoever has the most, for example, the total size of Nebula in the psi section of the board, which are these stars here, whoever has the most will get 6 points. Second will get third points. And these cards being scored, there's 6 of them per game. After they have all been scored, that is another game at trigger. At the end of the game, whoever has the most points wins. A few other things. At the end of your turn, you get to upgrade a life or get a new nebula. These resources are only used from turn to turn. Those sliders will slide down. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, we mentioned at the beginning here how much we like the components.
Yep.
I want to make one caveat to that. I don't like that the card trays on the side have to be disassembled to go back in the box.
Oh, yeah.
And I also don't like that you're supposedly supposed to keep everything in those trays in the box.
There's no way.
Because if you do, it falls out. But if you use bags, there's going to be the tiniest bit of box lift, and I had to do a bit of Jenga and Tetrising to get it into this box.
Yeah.
So I don't love that part of it, but man, those stars and the way they fit into those things. The life pieces are a little tiny.
No, I agree. And to be able to flip them, you have to kind of really get in there. But they look good, and the stars are really the stars of this.
And the artwork is fantastic. I love how every energy card looks different.
I agree.
And so it's going to be a looker on the table.
Yes.
I'm not sure I love the concept of having everything in the box and that plastic tray. I would be okay if we just had a little marble thing in the middle of the table and then put the stuff around the outside.
No, I agree. Yeah.
I would have been 100% okay with that, but it is what it is. Now, gameplay itself. There's something to be said about this whole... It's not quite Mancala. It's a little Mancala moving the marbles.
It feels like a Mancala. I like the different take on it because you're really trying to plan ahead to get your maximum resources that you need.
You always have to move your marble 1, but you could move your marble 3, and in fact, if you could even move it back to the same spot if there's a spot for it to go into.
Right.
It's and the being able to move the black marbles and stuff like that. It's and you're kind of setting up. I like the idea that whenever you do your turn, you feel like you're getting a lot of stuff. You get an action, you're like, I get that, but then I get all that secondary stuff. You're like, okay, well, I just got this. Now move this around. Whew, it feels good. A turn feels very satisfactory.
It does, and it's one that I think you really have to narrate because there's a lot of stuff going in on your turn, and I think there's a lot of pivoting because where they put that marble ahead of you is really going to change your turn.
That being said, I have never once played this where I was like, I'm going to put this marble here just to mess up Joey. And
No.
I can't think about you and your turn.
No.
I'm setting up my turn.
Right.
And it's a Euro style game. I mean, it's some of the things that we've seen before. Surround something, flip it, get points. But there's stuff I like that it changes that. First of all, the idea of moving the stars, and you can move a star or life 1 space, unless there's a star there. Then you can jump over them. So you're playing a little bit of like an abstract moving stuff game.
That's what I like about this. The puzzle in the middle of the marbles, I like that too. But then later, that movement puzzle, because you have to find out when you're going to move. Because there are certain times I'm like, well, these are about to disappear. You know, if that recipe gets fulfilled or whatever. So you got to have that movement puzzle work. Or whatever it is. Recipe fulfilled, whatever it is.
Today, welcome to, we're frying up Neptune.
Yes, we are. Yeah, so that movement puzzle I really enjoy. You know, because at first you're like, how can I ever get there? Then towards the end, you're flying through there because there are stars everywhere.
But the special abilities is kind of what really makes it for me.
Yeah.
Because when you're getting these cards and you're turning them in for an upgrade, and you get that upgrade, it does 2 things. One, you get a new special ability you can use, which get more of those cards usually to spend them to run your special ability. But also, now your secondary abilities on that thing are cooler.
So nice.
And this game makes you feel better and better. Even when you finish a star, finish one of those... constellations clusters.
Yeah.
And you have to get rid of one of your stars, but the rest of the stars are there and can be used on their neighboring areas, or you can then move them later on. And there's ways to get lots of movement. And so it feels good. Now, they're at the very end, and like the last turn, you're like, I'll just try to finish what I can finish.
Right.
And the life, they have a good rule about all your life goes away, that proto-life. But if you stabilize it, it doesn't. So you might spend some time stabilizing life. And so
It comes together. It makes sense thematically. It really does.
It does.
But it's also a straight-up Euro game that I feel doesn't overstay its welcome.
No, I think it's like a midweight Euro that has so many different puzzles going on, and it's approachable, I think, and quick.
And it's a looker.
Oh,
and
it
it's the
looks so
kind of
good.
game that's going to attract people. Get out of here, beige games. And some people are proud of beige games because of what they represent. And I get that. I get the idea of they see beige, they think, ooh, a point-type engine thing. But this does the same thing, but also looks pretty on the table.
It's possible. Who knew?
I know. The different objectives coming up, you see the objective several turns before it goes off, so you can plan for that.
Yep.
You can do the little time crystals. You can kind of pick and choose what you go for. And I don't know that there's going to be depths and depths of strategy in here, but it lets me do stuff. It gives me payoffs pretty quickly, and even on other players' turns, I'm sitting there thinking about what I'm going to do next and how I'm going to scatter things, and I enjoy it. I'm giving this an 8. It's a very enjoyable, fun game that plays quickly and easily, and I think the components, other than, like I said, I don't know everything about them, but just on the board themselves, on that 3D board, they really elevate the experience and make me think, hey, I'm building my own galaxy. This is my cosmos that I'm building. And that just helps me play a game better.
Yeah, I agree. I'm coming a bit higher, 8.5 on this, because I like the Euro mechanisms and all that, but this also looks great on the table, and it feels good to move those stars around every part of this production, besides the packing it back up, but that's more of a you problem. But it's like they look and feel so good, and you've got multiple puzzles that you have to try to fix, and multiple different paths
But they're
to
not
victory.
brain-burning puzzles,
They're not.
I
They're
think.
not.
Like, oh, I need 3 oxygen. Where am I going to get it? Maybe from the spot that gives you oxygen, right? It's
Right.
not like I have to sit there and go, all right, if I do this here and this here. It's more straightforward.
It is, and it doesn't cause that debilitating AP that sometimes you can get in that. So I think this is great. I don't know what the time frame is, but it does kind of go quickly as you're
So in
going
the box, 60 to 90 minutes, I feel that's pretty accurate.
I think so too. It feels good. It looks great. So this is definitely recommended.
Well, there you go, folks. That's Crafting the Cosmos. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Joy Evans.
And let's go to outer space.
And do it.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.